right, guys, welcome to the Straight Up Egan podcast, coming to you from the Egan Arms Public House. On today's episode, I'm here with Gene Baker, owner of LifeStream Family Wellness. Thanks for coming out and taking the time to chat with me about your business today. I'm excited to hear more about your business and, traditional Chinese medicine, how you kind of got started. But first, I kind of want to hear about how where you grew up. Are you originally from Minnesota, family life, education, all that good stuff?
Sure. I was actually born in Virginia, but we quickly moved to Minnesota, and I grew up in Prior Lake.
Nice,
and
so not far from Egan.
Not far from Egan,
Yeah.
Yep, so south of the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, always been there. And then I spent my life in Prior Lake, and then went to college at St. Thomas, and then the University of St. Mary's, and we raised our kids in Egan.
Nice. How many kids do you have?
Yep, we have 2 kids.
2?
Nice. Yep, 2 kids. They're both adults now, and we settled in Egan, and we absolutely loved it. So
it's a nice town. What were your degrees in?
My undergrad degree was from the University of St. Thomas in psychology, and then my graduate degree in education was from St. Mary's prior to going to acupuncture school.
Sure. So how long after getting your master's you decided to go to acupuncture school? Was there like a little gap in between there?
Yeah, that's a great question. It was kind of like, it wasn't, in life it just wasn't a straight path.
Yep.
It was kind of considered like an eat, teach, love situation.
Sure.
So worked in the family restaurant business, which was Al Baker's in Egan. My parents opened that up in 1987.
Okay.
And then was working there for a long time and raising the kids.
Yep.
And then was called to do something different. And I was always called, I think, to help people. And so then ended up going back to grad school to get my master's in teaching, and was a social studies teacher in 196.
Okay. Which school?
I was at Apple Valley.
Apple Valley? Okay.
And then I was also at Egan and Eastview. I did some long-term sub jobs there as well. So
did you enjoy teaching?
I loved it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was awesome. And then the recession hit, and, they ended up, I think, in one particular year, they cut 8 social studies teachers in the high schools in our area. And so I was at that point kind of a crossroads. Now what? Now what do I do? And still feeling called to do something, bigger and really help people in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was trying to figure it all out, and actually got pretty stressed out about kind of that process.
Like what was next,
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. And my body didn't react well to the stress. I didn't manage it well. And so I ended up having some health issues, and I went to an allopathic doctor, and the allopathic doc actually spent about 10 minutes with me and didn't really help. And I thought, this isn't working. There's got to be something else. And a friend recommended that I go see her acupuncturist.
Okay.
And so I went to see her, and it was just an incredible experience.
What was your results from the acupuncturist?
Well, first of all, I think the thing that I really appreciated was that the acupuncturist spent, she sat down with me and we talked for a good 30 minutes just about what was going on with me, both
just
physically.
To get to know you a little better and see
exactly.
what was going on.
Yep, and asked a lot of questions. And then, she explained what she was going to do, and then we took some time, and she gave me a treatment, put the needles in, and I actually fell asleep. Mm-hmm. And I woke up, and I thought, oh my goodness, I feel so relaxed. I don't remember the last time I felt this good.
All that stress is washed away. Huh?
Exactly. It was amazing.
So that kind of inspired you to kind of pursue the acupuncture route then?
It did.
That point? Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
So then you went to acupuncture school, which was where?
In Austin, Texas.
Mm-hmm. So you were living here. Mm-hmm. So did you have to move? How'd that
I did.
Work? Okay.
Yeah, that was quite an experience. Since I hadn't lived outside of the state of Minnesota since I was a young child.
Did the family move as well?
No, it was just me.
Just you for a certain amount of school time, and then
moved back again. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yes.
Is there a lot of acupuncture schools? So I know I went to Centerpoint Massage Therapy School, and they had acupuncture, but I don't think it was to the extent that some schools have. I mean, it's more maybe like an intro to acupuncture, but are there a lot of big acupuncture schools like the one in Austin?
There's generally 1 or 2 big schools within each state.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Okay. Interesting. So you graduated from that, moved back here, and then immediately started your own business, or did you work for someone?
I originally worked as an independent contractor at a clinic
Okay.
in St. Paul.
Yep.
And then just really got the desire to just go off on my own and start my own business. So then
I suppose you had, watching your parents own was it a bakery?
Al Baker's. Yeah, it was a
So
restaurant.
a restaurant.
Yep.
Yeah, Baker's,
Yep.
okay, restaurant.
Uh-huh.
So watching your parents own that, did that have anything to do with you wanting to own your own business? Did it help you kind of know like what to do and all that kind of stuff?
It did. I mean,
Okay.
I think I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs. My
Sure.
grandfather had a Chinese restaurant on the 494 strip, and
Okay.
then my dad worked there, and then he went off on his own, and my parents opened up restaurants. So, yep, I
Yeah.
think it was
So
always...
you had some guidance at least on how to maybe get started? and stuff?
Exactly, yep.
Cool. So when did you open your own practice then?
Then I started LifeStream Wellness in 2010, but didn't actually actively have a clinic in Egan 2015.
Okay.
So, yep.
So that's when you kind of had your space all picked out and you started taking clients as LifeStream clients in
Yes.
2015?
Yep.
Okay. So you haven't been open that long then, I guess.
Yeah, 8 years.
Was it difficult? So the people I talk to, they don't know a lot about TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. Is it hard do you find that people seek you out? Is it hard to kind of get people to hop on to Chinese medicine? Because it's a little bit different than obviously Western medicine, you know? Is it difficult to kind of bridge that gap?
I think the biggest hurdle that people seem to need to help with overcoming is like the idea of needles.
Okay.
So, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's like, how do needles that, you're putting in my body, first of all, do they hurt? And how are they going to help me? So just taking the time to explain it in a way that is understandable is
Sure.
super helpful. So,
Yeah. So for some people who have no idea what acupuncture is, what's the method, and then what's the idea, or how does it work basically?
sure. So acupuncture is just one aspect of traditional Chinese medicine. There's actually about 8 of them: acupuncture, herbal therapy, nutritional therapy, qigong, tai chi, all of those. And the concept of Chinese medicine is that it's a full systems approach to healing. So you're addressing not only the physical, but the emotional, the mind-body connection. And so acupuncture works it's like you put in these teeny tiny needles and you stimulate nerve points that signal to your body, that healing needs to happen here. It helps activate neurotransmitters like serotonin and helps to keep your body in that more of a, fighter, instead of a fight or flight response. It helps your body to go back into a parasympathetic state so that your body can rest and relax.
Probably a question you get a lot. Do the needles hurt?
That's a great question. Generally speaking, no.
Okay.
I would say a mosquito bite would be what I would equate it to.
So everyone in Minnesota is used to mosquito bites. You can
Exactly.
probably handle quite a bit. So, and then in acupuncture, there's like meridian lines in the body too, right? Like something in like a needle in your foot can affect like something somewhere else.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not like site specific.
No, it is not site-specific at all. There's pathways, we can call them nodes, you can call them points, but they stimulate these pathways. Like you
Sure.
can put a needle in your hand, for example, and there's one of the most classic points for putting a needle in your hand between your thumb and your index finger, and it helps with headaches, toothaches. In China, they use it, as an anesthesia point. So
Sure.
yep.
Okay. That's crazy. It's
Yeah.
interesting. What are so you just mentioned a few different conditions, but what are some conditions that people might not link acupuncture to that you've treated in the past, or that can be treated with acupuncture?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think generally speaking, people associate acupuncture with helping with any type of pain-related issue, which it is fabulous at doing, but it also helps balance out the hormones. It's really great for immune support, even like post-COVID syndrome symptoms, things like that people are surprised by. It helps with gastrointestinal issues, migraines, any type of like anxiety-related issues, depression. If people they'll say to me, can acupuncture help with this? And my answer is always yes, because
Okay.
it absolutely can.
Going back to hormones, so men, obviously, and I can speak to men because I just got my hormones tested, but as we get older, testosterone usually decreases, right? When you say hormones, does that mean like managing the balance of that, or is it more like different hormones?
Yep, that's exactly it. Yep,
Okay.
it helps to balance out the body, the hormonal. It's very good for hormonal balance throughout the body.
Is that same for females, I assume, too?
Exactly. One of my favorite things to train, because, of my own personal experiences, women that are going through perimenopause or menopausal symptoms, hot flashes, all of that. So, and actually it's very great for helping men, to support those testosterone levels. So
Interesting. So going back to your schooling, so you graduated. What kind of licenses do you need to be a licensed acupuncturist? Is it a test? Is it a written test?
Oh, yes. There's these medical board exams.
Board exam?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And to have a master's degree in Oriental medicine, you're taking 4 medical board exams. There's a biomed, there's an herb board, there's an acupuncture board exam. I mean, those are pretty extensive.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so the national board exams are regulated by acupuncture national board, and then we also, for me, are licensed in the state of Minnesota is regulated by the Minnesota Medical Board.
Okay. Do you have to get recertified? Do you have to keep up on your CEUs or stuff like that? So you're always kind of in training?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. You're always in training. I think that's one of the beautiful things about acupuncture. There's so much to learn. And when I was in grad school, our professors would say the learning never ends, and that's so true. There's always so many amazing things to learn.
Sure. Yeah, I could see it's probably a pretty vast field.
Yes.
When it comes to the human body, everything's pretty vast anyway. So you mentioned some other therapies like nutritional therapy. What did you mean by that? Can you explain kind of how that can help people?
Sure. We, from a Chinese medicine perspective, view food as medicine. Food can either support our health or it can work against our health. For example, in Chinese medicine, we feel like warming foods are generally better to keep that body flowing, keep the blood circulating, the oxygen flowing. When you put in, like, ice cream is probably one of the worst things you can put in your body because it's cold and it's dairy and it's sugar.
Yeah.
And as we know, sugar is the most inflammatory thing that you can
I try to tell my
body.
kids all the time, but they don't listen.
And so that's how we view food, and we use it as a tool, to help set people up for success in terms of their healing.
If somebody came in and wanted to do, well, let's say someone come in with a, take your pick of a condition, right? Do you do the intake, get their information, and then decide what therapy works best for them, or do you always let the person decide like what they want to do?
That's a great question. It is definitely a collaborative approach.
Okay.
When we work together, especially in our clinic, it's all about us supporting you as a patient in terms of like your healing, and we will make that determination. We'll go through, and it's an individualized treatment plan. So every patient gets a different treatment plan based on what they need specifically. Yep.
Okay. And then I know it's probably, a ballpark guess, but what's kind of the time frame you work with somebody? Is it kind of until that condition has subsided, the symptoms have gone down?
It'll vary from person to person. What I'll generally tell people is that if it's a chronic condition, I would say the treatments build on each other. So somebody will say, what do I expect? How long is it going to take for me to feel the results? And I always say, just pay attention to how your body feels. You'll generally feel that relief within the first 24 to 48 hours. Some type of an impact in which your body feels better. And then as the treatments build on each other, so let's say that first treatment, you maybe feel better for a day or two. And then as we work together, you'll start to feel better and better. For example, let's say you're coming in for neck pain and, limited range of motion. So my neck hurts and I had some relief for a couple of days and then it came back again. And so Then if it's like an acute neck injury or a neck pain, it usually takes about 8 to 10 treatments. If it's something that's more chronic, I would say expect 10 to 12 treatments.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be more consistent with your care when you initially start out. So
Sure, just kind of build that foundation.
Yep.
So if somebody comes in from like a car accident or something where they got some minor, neck soreness, 8 to 10 treatments or so, depending upon the person.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, we're going for at least 2 weeks with relief where you're not remembering that you had those symptoms.
Yeah.
So
Do you find an increase in people coming in from neck soreness from the wintertime, like car accidents, slipping on ice, that kind of stuff, or is it more pretty steady throughout the year?
it's pretty steady throughout the year, although with this winter there have been a lot of people that have slipped and I've talked to a couple of docs that refer to us, and they've said the same thing. Mm-hmm. There's been a lot more injuries from slips and falls, but I think about it, and especially during COVID, people are like leaning forward and on their computers more, right?
Desk position.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Shoulders hunched forward, neck pushing out.
Exactly.
Back is arched. Yeah, and doing that for 8 to 10 hours, 5 days a week, it's not a good position.
It does, and then you're wondering why your neck is sore, and it's like because you've been in a position, you've been really focused and concentrated.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Interesting. So if somebody was to come in, let's say somebody did slip on the ice, they found you, maybe off this podcast or the internet or whatever, what's the process of getting them into your clinic as a patient?
You can call, you can go online. We have an online scheduling program. Okay. You can text. We do offer free consultations. So if folks are wondering, if they have lots of questions or wondering if acupuncture is a good treatment plan for them, then yes, they can give a call. And then, we set up the appointment.
Yep. And once you kind of decide on what kind of route to take, they just into their sessions then?
Yep. So the day of the appointment, just to describe what an acupuncture visit looks like. So you walk into LifeStream, and we've got the calming music on, and there's usually some aromatherapy, and somebody will check you in and take you to your treatment room. And you sit, and then we spend, 30 minutes or so just going through your health history, which you've filled out previously. Yeah. And we talk about all of the things that are going on, set goals for your treatments, and then answer questions, and then then you get on the table. And once you get on the table, it's all about being comfortable. We've got a heating blanket underneath and heat lamps above. And
nice.
We decide what the point prescription is going to be or what we're going to do in terms of treatment, depending on the condition. And then we place the small needles in, and then we turn down the lights, and we have peaceful music. And generally speaking, I'd say most people fall asleep.
Sounds pretty relaxing to me.
It is very relaxing.
Yeah. And then how long do the needles typically stay in? Is it based on what the condition is or what?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay.
Yep. 20 minutes to 40, 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yep. It would be about how long we retain the needles for.
Nice. Cool. And then payment-wise, so do you take insurance? Is it cash only? How do you do that?
Yes, we do. Right now, we are in network with Health Partners in Cigna.
Okay.
And then we also will process motor vehicle, work comp. And then we are also cash-based. We have a lot of cash-based patients. So, yep.
Nice. It's good to know. In your clinic, you kind of mentioned that you have that staff will take you back to your treatment room. How many staff do you have at LifeStream?
There's myself, and Mike is our other acupuncturist. And then we have 2 amazing patient care coordinators to assist as well. So, so there's 4 of us in total.
Nice.
Plus we have Austin,
and that's
the
your
golden doodle.
Yep. And golden doodle. He probably makes his home at the clinic.
He does. Yep. Yeah. And he gets up to greet people and takes them to their rooms.
It's a pretty nice greeter.
He is. Yep.
Is he a mini or is he a full size?
He's a full size.
Full size.
But a little
what
bit.
What does he weigh?
55 pounds.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Okay.
Yep. How much?
Ours is a full, and he weighs, probably after this winter, 70.
Okay.
He probably gained some weight.
Okay.
Sneaking the kids' food. And not getting his exercise, but he usually trims down in the summertime. We get him out for walks.
Yep.
But what is something that maybe we haven't talked about yet, or somebody doesn't know about acupuncture? Maybe like a fun fact type of thing.
Oh, that's a good question. I think a fun fact would be that it's just like a full systems approach to healing. So when you come in, you're not coming in just for one thing. You come in for maybe, back pain, but it can also help you with sleep. And
Sure.
so, I think people are just surprised. It's so fun when if you treat somebody for the first time and I put in that first needle and they'll say, well, let me know when you put the needle in. And I'll say, I already put it in, right? Yep. And so I know. I just think and I think it's just the way that people just enjoy their treatment so much. Like one patient yesterday said to me, it's like being at the beach for an hour because you're warm and cozy and you get to
for sure.
relax. And
it's interesting to say that it's a full systems approach. Like you might be treating something, but something else improves as well.
Correct.
That's like the exact opposite of Western medicine, right? Giving you prescriptions for whatever, maybe it's headaches or anxiety or whatever, but then you have this list of side effects that can sometimes even be worse than the original condition that you have. So getting, treated pharmacology usually leads to something negative, right? Negative side effects. But here, it's like everything can improve, and what you're doing is more, well, it's all natural, right? You're treating people through food, you're treating people through acupuncture, but you're not putting things like substances into people's bodies,
Correct.
So,
yeah, it is. It's true. Completely the opposite of allopathic. You're coming in and you come in leaving, and when you go to a doc, like you said, oftentimes the things they prescribe have those adverse side effects, whereas acupuncture it's the complete opposite. So,
right.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you ever had anybody have any negative effects from acupuncture?
I would say no, not very often. When the most common thing would probably be like a small bruising.
Okay.
Yep. And when I say bruising, not a bruise that hurts. It's just, there's so many capillaries in the areas where we put the needles. If somebody's more prone to bruise
in the first place, it might just happen that way.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I think that's pretty much all I got for you. Anything else you want to share? I don't know if you guys do promotions or deals or stuff like that, but anything you want to share?
We do offer free 15-minute consults, and so if
Okay.
anybody's
So if
interested,
anybody's on the fence, they can come and talk to you.
they can come and talk. Exactly.
They can see the needles. Maybe.
They can see the needles. We can show the needles. We can
Sure.
talk about whatever they want, answer any questions, come and check out the room, lay on the treatment table if you want, just to
Give
see
it a
what
little
it
test
feels
drive,
like.
huh?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yep. And we are here to support the Egan communities. That was kind of one of the reasons that I chose the clinic location that I'm at is it's actually just steps away from where my parents had Al Bakers, and they were really active in the community in terms of youth sports and really being able to support the community, by food is love, and for me food is medicine, and I just want to be able to help as many people as I can live their best life. So.
And was it Hippocrates that said, "Let food be thy medicine"?
That's exactly it. Yep.
So
yep.
it's true.
It is true.
It's true.
It is.
So, and you're located just over by Wildcats, by Napa Auto. What's your exact address? I'll put in a link. But.
Sure. 3460 Washington Drive.
Okay.
And that's Suite 101. So we've got a great big parking lot, free parking. And we're the first suite as you walk in the door of our office building. So
great.
Yep.
And they can find you on social media.
Yep. Instagram.
Instagram, social media, Facebook.
Facebook.
And what's your website?
www.lifestreamfamilywellness.com.
Awesome. I will put all those links in the description of this episode. So
Thank
if you guys want to check it out. So, all right. Well, thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much, Kyle.
Yeah,
It was
enjoyed
really
it.
great. Yeah, me too.